All right, believe it or not, but the wiring is complete. I have an ignition switch coming tomorrow. So I'm going to put that in first. And once that's in and I hook up the battery and there isn't a fire, I will start putting everything back together. But until I get the new turn signal switch and hook that up and make sure that everything is good to go, I'm not putting this dash back together yet. Also, I shredded the hose that was going to this vent over here. It was pretty much already destroyed. So I have a new one coming as well, a replacement. It's a 2-inch inner diameter hose. It was really smashed on top of the steering column anyway, and it looks like it was that way from the factory. Kind of a weird place to put it, but either way, I am... I don't know why that would have happened, but to alleviate it from happening again, I'm going to get an inline filter, and I'm going to splice into this wire that was feeding to the ignition switch, and I'm just going to drop an inline filter in there. I don't know how many amps yet. I think 8, because I think that circuit runs to an 8 amp fuse before it goes to the lights. So this is all pre-fuse, which is why the wire burned up, but the fuse never blew. So pretty interesting. What a pain in the ass. Thanks, Porsche. 40-year-old wiring though, so, and a 40-year-old switch. But you can see it's the wiper. Where's the turn signal switch? Where is the turn signal switch? Where are you? I don't know where it went. It's pretty well fried though.
Alright, so this is wild, but number 2 is just having an intermittent misfire. You can hear this thing surging and hunting. Now if I go on any other plug, it is just number 2.
Okay. This is what my car looks like now. Alright, check this out. Alright, so let's do a quick rundown here. I'm still not sure what the idle's set at because the tack doesn't work, still doesn't work. I do have a new plug set coming. I'm probably going to pull these plugs out because they're getting fouled up with fuel. You're not going to believe what fixed this. It wasn't the AFM, but I am glad I got in here and put the ground, or put this continuity wire in and redid all that. But yeah, glad I did that. New coil. I'm sure the other coil was fine, but whatever. I'm just gonna stick stock on this. Fuel pressure still sitting at over 30, 32, 33. I do have a new thermo fan switch I need to install, so that's going to go in. But man, I was getting ready to pull this all apart and do timing,
I can't tell you how many times I have swapped reference sensors. I mean, they're all over the place. And there's probably nothing wrong with the old ones. Vacuum lines did need to be replaced, so I replaced those. There's quite a few cracks when I got first into this car. Coolant temp sensor, that needed to be replaced. The fuel filter needed to be replaced. Some of the fuel lines were bad. Replaced all that. Pulled this completely apart, replaced the AOS seals, they were leaking, rear main seal, front crank seal, timing belt, balance shaft belt, that freaking flywheel dampener, the charcoal canister for the evap system. I mean, I went through and I just found stuff that was wrong with this and replaced it because I was like, well, whatever. I am going to wire up this Toyota Tacoma resistor, booster fan resistor. Resistor is not the right word, but it offers resistance, so maybe it is. So this one's cracked in half and all the solder points failed on it. But I'm going to wire that up and get that to work. My fan's working great. I got the seat installed. I pulled all the trim down, of course, because I had to get the dash out. I pulled both the fuse blocks out, because I wasn't 100% sure if there was a bad connection at the DME relay. That's the second DME relay I put in. I also ordered a static relay. I'm fine with putting that in. This is my second DME. I'm going to put the other DME back in and just see if it runs. And then I'll just have a backup. Replaced all that wiring. So this probably would have happened anyway. That switch was bad. The turn signal switch was bad. Shorted out a ton of wiring in here. So I'm glad I cleaned that up. I did put a fusible link in just in case the replacement switch I get ever has that issue again. There's like contacts that sit next to each other, and probably taking it off and putting it on, one got moved over and it shorted itself out. But here's why I'm a moron. All the things I've replaced on this car, and now I can just turn the key and it fires right up. Alarm bypass. I was looking at the pictures on Clark's garage, and the wires that he bypassed were blue and something else. And it's these two, the 7 and 8 plug I had over here on the 5 and 6. Now the car would start, but it ran just like you saw in the previous videos. It ran like shit. And when I saw that, I was like, there's no way. And I moved them over and I turned the key and this thing ran like it was meant to. Still idling a little funny, but I think that's just because I've been dumping excess fuel down the injection ports. So it's probably going to have to clean some stuff out. I'll put some new plugs in. But I am so pumped. I know the car looks like this and it sucks because I had it completely put back together, looking pretty good, but you know, the vent hose was cracked. I'm just being positive about it. There's a lot of stuff in here that I never would have done. The tack, I would have wanted to replace that, but I wasn't really thinking about it. There was a vacuum line that was broken on the evac or the AC system, which the AC condenser needs to be replaced at some point. The system's not charged at all. And there's a line that's been cut, but just going through everything on here and wondering why I'm spending money on this when it's not a running car yet. And now it is. And I couldn't be happier. Even the hood release works. So here's the factory color again, this wine red. And there's the shitty or crappy version of the, I don't know, Porsche red, whatever it's called, guards red. Looks better on the doors than it does on the hood. But that's going to be the color I'm going to repaint it, because all the door jambs are painted, so I don't want to have to get in here and redo all that crap. But yeah, this has been a wild ride. I'm going to keep posting videos and just putting things together as I get the car and I'm able to actually drive it. Tire spin in the back, I did shift it into drives, and it cycled through all the gears just fine. Accelerates fine. I mean, not under load. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I am gonna hate putting this all back together, but getting this wire to go back where it needs to go is gonna be kind of a nightmare. But at least now I can, and I need to. I'm gonna fix everything on it though. I'm gonna put a new bulb in the glove box, and it's still not, the alternator's not charging, which is weird because it was kind of charging when I had that hooked up incorrectly. Like I was getting 13.4, 13.5 volts, but as soon as I put it the other way, it doesn't charge anymore. The light just comes on the dash. So I'm not 100% sure why. I'm going to try hooking 12 volts directly up to the exciter and see if that works. But the light's working, and I think it does go through here. I'm going to have to look. But, I mean, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they just have the alarm kill everything on the car? I mean, that's a very Porsche thing for them to do. But, anyways, that's going to cut it for this video here. Some massive exhaust leaks, but she's purring away.